Alright, so I'm getting set up to cook my HelloFresh meal of pork egg roll rice bowls. Looks heckin' bomb if I do say so. So I will admit I am cheating. I'm not boiling my rice in a pot because I am a bougie person and I got a rice cooker. So I'm currently have it in my steam thing that I rinse my rice in. So give me a second while I wash my rice so, the angry rice man doesn't get me. Alright, so we got our nice clean rice in here with a little bit of extra water. It's fine. I haven't even added the normal water yet. How much water did it call for? So it is 1 1/4 cups of water, it says. So I'm going to do it as the directions say, because usually the rice cooker doesn't take as much water anyways. So let me fill that up. And alright, we got our 1 1/4 cups of water in our rice cooker. So if you have a rice cooker, this is kind of how I'm doing my thing, or all the cords and stuff. You could tell I don't mobile stream things, or record for that matter. So we got our rice. Just gonna move my dishes out of the way because while I'm cooking, I'm actually doing my dishes. So we got our oh so fancy Walmart Express Hamilton Beach rice cooker. It does the job. It does pretty good. I like that it has the sealing lid. Not sponsored, but hit me up. I use it all the time because I am a rice addict. Okay. We got a cord. So let's plug her in. It said 15. I'm probably going to give it like 13 because I know my rice cooker. And we leave it alone and it starts on its own. So while the rice is cooking, we're going to leave that to do its thing. And we're going to start prepping. We are to half peel and thinly slice our onions. I'll cut that when I have that all cut up. All right, we got our onion nicely chopped up. So we are on to the next step. And the next step is to make the duck sauce, which is combining apricot jam, chili sauce, and half of the soy sauce, and 3 tablespoons of hot water for the duck sauce. That seems pretty easy. Alright, we made quick work of that using a fork as a whisk since it's a little bowl. Nice and small. See, small hands, small bowl. So our next thing is to cook the pork. We're going to add a drizzle of oil over a medium-high heat, adding the pork, garlic powder, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Use spatula, press into an even layer. Cook without stirring until brown on the bottom. And then break into pieces and continue cooking until the pork is cooked through. Add half of the duck sauce, which we just made, and stir occasionally until the pork is glazed and coated. Transfer pork to a plate. Tent with foil until ready to serve. Wipe out the pan. Then cook the veggies using a drizzle of oil, which you'll add the coleslaw mix, the carrots, and the onion. Cook, stirring occasionally until tender and brown, and then add sesame oil and remaining soy sauce. That seems pretty easy. So let's get going on our pork. Alright, so we got our pork in the pan with a drizzle of olive oil. It's what I have. You can use canola, vegetable, whatever the frick you got for oil. And we're going to let that cook for a few minutes, for 3 to 4 minutes, till it's nice and browned on the bottom before we break it up. Alright, this is where we are on the pork, which we're going to loosen that real quick, which is mostly cooked. It's not quite browned with the Maillard reaction yet, but I did season the top, kind of getting ready for the breaking up just a little bit. I kind of want to smudge it around just a little to make sure that we're cooking it nice and good. But yeah, that's where we are currently. We're not doing too shabby, if I do say so. But yeah, it does call for salt and pepper as well, that it doesn't include in the bag. So make sure if it says salt and pepper, usually you gotta provide it. I personally used cracked black pepper out of like a little thingy majigger that I got from Costco. Costco's not also not sponsored. This thing, yeah. There's a little pepper grinder. It comes with two. I like them. Obviously, it's not sponsored. It's just what I like. So yeah, we're gonna cook down the pork until that is ready to go. And once that is done, I will be back. All right. We are to the next step in cooking the pork, which is adding half of our duck sauce. So I'll need one hand to do this. I'm gonna rough pour this a little bit. Looks good. That is going onto my cutting board, so it's okay if it's a little floppy. So this is going to glaze the meat itself. So you kind of just want to mix it around, make sure everything's coated, and make sure it keeps moving because the water from that is going to evaporate and kind of glaze everything to where it's a little bit more sticky or candied like. So just keep an eye on it, let it cook, do its thing. I'm sure it'll be delicious because it freaking smells amazing in here. Did I mention that jam they have you add is apricot or apricot, however you pronounce it? I personally say apricot, but Sky is all like, it's you're supposed to say apricot. I'm like, no, it's apricot. What's everybody's opinion on apricot versus apricot? It's a household debate at this point. All right, this is where I am calling it. As you can see, it's making streaks on the pan. That is where I call it as glazed. It says to put tinfoil over it, but I'm gonna put it in a bowl and then I'm gonna put a little plate over it. You know how it be. I just don't like using foil like that because that's just kind of a waste. Because economical as well as just wasteful. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll move on to the veggie. Apparently, I wasn't recording this entire time, so I put the onions in because whenever you're cooking, you want to cook your aromatics first. That would be onions, garlic. You know how it be. So we're gonna cook those down a little bit because no one likes a raw onion in your egg roll. That's kind of weird. But if you do you, boo boo. I don't. And we're gonna get rid of this Maillard reaction on the pot by kind of rubbing the onions in. We'll do that with the rest of the veggies as well. But that's all flavor on the pot that we want to kind of make sure everything's seasoned with. So I will be back when we swap to carrots. Actually, those are kind of translucent already because, I forgot to turn my. So I'm just going to set the phone down and then we'll swap the carrots in. Crunkle, crunkle. That ASMR sounds. Crunkle, crunkle. Back in the back rooms. I said your favorite word, the back rooms. Cooking is actually one of my favorite hobbies. I know you can only hear my mic right now, and it's probably very crunkly right now. But cooking is one of my favorite hobbies when it doesn't stress me out. So we are. And you know what HelloFresh doesn't do? Stress me out. Because, everything's pre measured. Ignore the flinging carrots. Because, we ain't perfect in here. We're a dead cat for all God's sake. We ain't perfect. We're just going to cook down our onions and our carrots for a little bit. Because we don't want crunchy carrots. So, one moment. All right, and I would call that bit pretty heckin' good, dude. The cabbage looks nice and cooked, and after that, we basically just need to plate. So I'll see you when the plating is done. So here's for the pretty picture. I'll be honest, this is so it looks pretty. I'm adding more veggies on top of it. There's a ton of veg on like high key. This is a nice bulky meal. If you want a more bulky meal, heavily recommend. It smells amazing. I am excited to try it, and I'll let y'all know.